Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of my series centering around weird British children's shows. In this episode, we shall be going over some shows that were odd based on the premise of the show. Without further ado, on with the video.
Drip too hard, don't stand too close, you gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, doing all these shows.
Oh boy, what a show. Wolfblood was a teen drama horror series centered around a werewolf-like species known as, you guessed it, Wolfbloods. The main protagonist of the earlier seasons was a girl named Maddy Smith, and the plot took you through her and her family trying to hide their secret from their peers, as well as the government. The show begins with the introduction of a strange, wild Wolfblood boy named Viridian Morris, who tries to integrate into tame Wolfblood, and by proxy human, society. From what I remember, the wild Wolfbloods were very hostile towards humans and saw tame Wolfbloods as inferior due to their acceptance of human ways of living, and hiding their true nature in order to live among them.
Drip too hard, don't stand too close, you gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, doing all these shows.
I remember the show having cool animation segments when the Wolfblood characters transformed, and to be honest, that's the only thing I can really praise the show for. Don't get me wrong, I loved this show as a kid. I was one of those really edgy little kids who was obsessed with vampires and werewolves, but not Twilight, I hate that stuff. Because of this, the show really appealed to me. But I stopped watching it when Maddy's character left the show, as she was my favourite character as well as the literal main character of the series, and the storyline was starting to annoy me. Essentially, at the end of season 2, one of the bullies discovers the existence of Wolfbloods and wants to prove it to everyone else. He sends a chew toy with one of the Wolfblood's saliva on it to a biologist named Dr. Whitewood. She tells Maddy's parents that she would like to study them further, but they refuse to become lab rats and leave for Canada. Just a season later, Viridian was written off too. The show continued for 2 more seasons after this. I get it if actors can't meet the show's filming requirements, or their contract ends, or if the writers simply want to do something new with the show's universe, but just kill the main series and don't drag it on. The show ran for 3 seasons from 2012 to 2014, and focused on a teenage wizard named Tom Clark and his non-magical friend Benny Sherwood, who fought an alien race called the Necros that fed on magic. I didn't watch this show much at all, but I remember thinking it was bloody weird even back then. For one, the main antagonists were greedy bastards. There was the king who lived in the wall of the spaceship, and some banter between his 2 kids. They would abduct wizards minding their own business on Earth, and then drain them dry so they'd become old. More specifically, I remember this weird storyline where Tom and the Necros princess got stuck in another dimension, where they have a child together and named him after Benny. What were the writers smoking? I'm glad I grew out of the show and didn't watch the final season, because I honestly just didn't care. The saddest part of it all is that this show was created and run in part by Russell T Davies, the man who gave us the reboot of Doctor Who. I feel so let down. M.I.High was an action comedy spy series that ran from 2007 to 2014. It centered around teenage agents who were working in a spy program made by the fictional version of the British secret intelligence agency MI9. The main characters changed as the series went on, and their goal was to defeat a criminal organisation named Skull. I remember watching the show from season 1 to season 5, although my interest was starting to slip towards the end. I think the premise was pretty odd, and the action plot lines were just basic stuff from what I recall. It wasn't particularly interesting stuff. I can understand how the show appealed to a lot of kids back then, but I preferred the sequences with the characters just interacting with their school peers and staff, and I actually learned what an ASBO was from this show, when the students sang a song to make the headmaster stay despite one of the students' bad behaviour. Overall, I think this is probably the least weird out of all of the shows in this episode, but I think it wasn't a strong enough show to last as long as it did. Well, while these shows definitely weren't scary by any means, I don't understand how they became popular back in the day, even though I watched them myself. I guess kids really will watch anything. I remember there were also some web games based on these shows that I also played as a kid, but I definitely would not recommend playing any of them now. Well, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can always leave your thoughts or any suggestions you have for future videos in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching.